So we looked at tracking, and we used this wagon plate footage. And the first way we did was we did a piece of text, and then we did a null. So I'll just start with the easy way. And then we went to the pull down and said motion tracking, right? So if you're in something else, go to motion tracking or a window workspace, motion tracking. And you can say reset it if you want to make sure it's in the defaults. So we have the text. We want to select the wagon plate footage, and we want to click over here in the tracker. We want to click track motion. And when we do that, it's going to take us to the layer panel, right? And I'll just zoom in with the middle scroll wheel. So it gives us a track point, and the inside box is what we're looking to track. The outside box is how far we're searching, and the crosshair is where the text is going to go. If you move your cursor over this so you see that 4 black way arrow, you can click and drag the whole thing as a unit. And I'm going to drag it right over this circle, this button on the back of this, right? And again, you can zoom in and zoom out with the middle scroll wheel, and you can also use the space bar and move around with the hand tool. And so we want this inside box, right? This is what we're tracking. We want it to look at this whole circle. This is how far we're searching for. You would make this bigger if this was moving faster, but the bigger you make it, the longer the track will take. Also, if you hold control, you can do one side at a time. And then we want to move this crosshair. This is where the text is going to go. So let's drag this up, and then I'll zoom back out. And so this is where the text is going to go. I'm going to go to 4 seconds and trim my work area. Before I do this, trim comp to work area. And so we have the tracker set, and we have the crosshair where the text is going to go. So we go to analyze forward, and it tracks through. And then you say apply, and you say OK. And now it takes you back, and you'll now see it's tracked. Now my text is left justified, all right? So that's why it's sitting on the left right there. But if you select your text and hit P, you can see all the keyframes that were copied over. And if you click on the word position, this will select all the keyframes. And now we can go and we can scrub this text. Again, I'm clicking on the word position to make sure we select all of them. And so this is letting me reposition this like that. So that's the first way. So let's make a new comp, wagon plate 2. And this time we want to say layer new null. And so we're going to have the null, and so this is the null, right? And we're going to attach the text to this. So you do this when you have more than one text layer or graphic layer, right? So let's say we say something like follow me. And then I'll just click off and do it again. And I'll just call this like on the road. Oops. Sorry, I thought I was clicked off. So click off. All right, so now we have 2 pieces of text, and let's just say we want them here, and then the null, we want to put that on top. So put the null where you want it to be, and then select these 2 layers, right? Shift click and just say parent be the null. And now, right, if we go to the null and go to position, right, they will move with it. So when we do the tracking data, it's going to go on the null, and then the text is hooked to it. So select wagon plate, go back to window workspace, reset motion tracking, playheads at the beginning. Again, set your work area. So this is shorter, so your track doesn't take forever. Say track motion. Do the same thing, right? Move the tracker where you want. And so I tend to zoom in and make sure that looks right, and then take the attach point up here. And so in this case, right, that's where the null is going to go. So first frame, analyze forward, apply. Now we come back, and so all the tracking data is on the null, right? So there's the null, and if we click on the word position, we can move the null around. And the nice thing about doing it this way is that now if you want to move the text, right, you can move the text freely because the text is a child of the null, right? So we can freely move this stuff around. But if we want to move where the null is, and make sure you're on the word position. I clicked off accidentally. So if you just do this, right, you would just do 1 frame. So make sure you're on the word position, and this will change all of them.